Right. So as a SQL Server DBA, just we have discussed that our job is yeah, maintenance. Server and database maintenance is our job as a SQL Server DBA. Okay. So then say like in general say like in general every application has two parts here, front end part and back end part, which we know already. This front end part is user interface part through which our users are working, right? Suppose let's say we'll open some app, Paytm, Phone Pay. Okay, I can open some website as a user. I will make transactions, right? So I don't know what is database, what is C language, Java, what is .NET. I don't know as a normal user, right? So this is here like this front end part is developed uh, by using say like some languages. So by using some languages here, okay, like C++, Java, Android, some tools here like PHP. So various things means here as a programmer, as a developer, we can work here. Means our front end part developers will develop the application part or front end part. So once the front end part is ready, so what we can do, we can use a second one here like backend part is there, which is our storage part, storage. So where the data is present permanently, right? So means what? Whenever we open some application, whenever we make some transaction, so those changes are recorded permanently in the backend part, which is a storage part, backend part. Okay, so that is like two parts are there here, front end and back end parts are there here, front end and back end parts. So but as a SQL Server DBA already we have discussed like our job is to handle back end part, which is our database part where the actual data is present. Okay, that's why backend part maintains your actual data permanently. Okay, that's why this backend part is a collection of databases, and it is developed with some RDBMS products here. By using RDBMS products, we can develop the databases. That's why backend part is collection of databases like sales database, HR database, inventory database, right? And these databases we are managing by using some RDBMS products, relational database management system products. Generally, we know that in market we have so many RDBMS products are there, like Oracle, Sybase, okay, SQL Server, DB2, MySQL, various RDBMS products are available. So that is like those are like that's why we have to understand here very clearly as a SQL Server DBA where we are working, which part we are handling in the as part of our working environment. We have to understand very clearly, right? So our job is to work with backend part, which is nothing but our database part, where we have collection of databases. Backend part is a collection of databases, right? And these databases are there. Uh, these databases are there here like these databases we are creating and managing with the help of RDBMS products. That's why in the summary first point we have to understand as a SQL Server DBA, we have to handle a collection of databases we have to handle, as well as we have to handle the RDBMS products, means SQL Server. This was here in the summary what we can say as a database administrator. So our job is here uh, database and server maintenance. So here database and server maintenance is our job. First point we have to understand, right? Database and server maintenance is our job. So that's why, as part of database and server maintenance, server means not here physical machine, not Windows server, our SQL server. Okay, that's why, as part of database and server maintenance, regularly what we have to do, regularly we have to monitor the servers, we have to troubleshoot the problems. Regularly monitoring the servers and troubleshooting the problems. Why? Because once we enter in a organization, total setup is there. Everything is already configured. Everything means SQL Server is installed. In that already databases are there. Okay, various features we have implemented. That's why once we enter in the organization, we have to start monitoring and troubleshooting. Means what, we have to monitor regularly how the databases are growing, all the features are working or not. If any problems are there, we have to troubleshoot the problems. Okay, that's why remember, as a our regular activity is what, monitoring and troubleshooting, right? Monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular activity as a database administrator. So that's why, to monitor and troubleshoot, we should have very strong knowledge. So we should have very good knowledge. Okay, otherwise it is difficult for us to handle the troubleshooting part. This one, but as part of our course, we'll go in detail. Okay, so maximum here we'll discuss up to maximum extent, architectures, monitoring, common issues, troubleshooting. We'll discuss as part of our course. That's why in every module we have 12 to 13 modules are there. In every module we have troubleshooting part. Okay, so along with daily or running notes, uh, what I will do, I will share you some extra copy of soft copy material also, some extra copy. This one's here, part 1, part 2 is there, extra copy of soft copy material. So here we will see again in each part, we'll see regular issues, we'll see regularly used commands, we'll see. Along with that, I will share you FAQs and scenarios. FAQs and scenarios, module wise question answers I have written, as well as regular scenarios I have written. Here generally what the questions are there in the interview, as well as while working also, these are useful for us. Module 1 is actually we'll see basics plus installation. Here we'll see what are the installation issues are there. Why? Because tomorrow if you are attending the interview, uh, they will not ask how to install SQL Server, but what problems we are facing while installation, what problems we are facing, that they will ask, issues they will ask. Means troubleshooting is important. Indirectly I'm saying troubleshooting part is important for us. So that's just here, like almost all, most of the common issues I have written here, I will share you as part of our course. Okay, right. So that's what here, like troubleshooting, monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job. Just remember, like from our discussion, what we have to understand. First point we have to understand, as a SQL Server DB or any DBA, we are going to handle this backend part. Backend part we are handling, where we have collection of databases. And second point we have to understand, as a SQL Server DBA, our job is monitoring and troubleshooting. Okay, regularly we have to monitor various features. We have to troubleshoot the problems. Right. So, one more point we have to understand here, as a SQL Server DBA, no need to perform the tasks manually. Okay, so almost all here 80% tasks, almost all 70 to 80% tasks are schedules here. 80% tasks like backups, okay, uh, alerting or monitoring. So various things are scheduled. Scheduled means already they are working in the background automatically. Already they are working in the background automatically. Okay, but our job is what? Just we have to check, we have to monitor the health, whether all these features are working or not. If any problems are there, we have to troubleshoot the problems. Generally, here we have various features are there like log shipping, mirroring, always on, replication, clustering, backups, database maintenance activities. All these are scheduled activities. Why? Because tomorrow you are handling one client. With that client, we have almost all 700 servers, for example. See, we can't connect to each server. We can't perform the activities manually. That's why compulsory most of the activities we need to automate, right? So that as a DBA, no need to wake up exactly morning 3 o'clock. No need to take backup. Why? Because already we have automated the backup process. Automatically backups are generated. No need to take manually backups. Okay, that is like automation is important for us. Most of the things we are going to automate as a DBA, right? So these are like basic things what we have, what is what we have to understand. Let's say we'll start with SQL Server. Generally, say like we know already, SQL Server is a RDBMS product developed by Microsoft. Right? Various RDBMS products are available today in the market, like SQL Server, Oracle, Sybase, DB2. Various RDBMS products are available. But in case of SQL Server, what are the benefits are there? Its cost is less. SQL Server's cost is less, as well as maintenance is easy for us. Maintenance becomes easy. That's why small scale companies, medium scale, and large scale, all these clients are using today SQL Server. For us also, it becomes easy to enter into organization. Means what? First we can enter with a small organization. So once we get some more experience, then we can go to some bigger organization. So that is like entry becomes easy for us, right? So in general, say like what we can do with SQL Server, we can create and manage databases. We can create and manage databases. Already we have discussed like our job as a database administrator. Our job is database maintenance. Our job is what? Database maintenance. But in SQL Server, actually, we have three types of jobs are there here in SQL Server. One is we can work as a SQL Server developer or programmer. Okay, then we have SQL Server DB, which is our course. Then we have Microsoft Business Intelligence Developer, MSBI developer. These are the three types of options are there as part of SQL Server. Okay, so uh, But see, like as a SQL Server developer, what they will do, they will develop the databases. Means they will create the database, creating tables, writing stored procedures, functions, triggers, everything they will perform here. Developer job it is. But once the development is done, once the testing is done, then the database is placed in the production environment, production server. After that, we'll start our job. Means as a production DBA, will start working. Okay, so that is our job is what maintenance. We are not developers. That's why we have seen like generally tomorrow's here like once we start working with as a SQL Server DBA. Suppose let's say means clients are not going with the new uh, applications. They are not developing new projects due to financial crisis. But still our job is safe. Why? Because we are maintenance people. We are not developers, right? So that's why once we enter in the organization, once we work for 3 to 6 months, 6 months for example, then almost all it becomes easy for us, okay, to work. Why? Because it may be any domain, it may be hospital domain or insurance domain or any domain. Almost all our job is same, troubleshooting, monitoring and troubleshooting is our job. So that's why remember almost all 70 to 80% same issues are there, issues are repeated. 70 to 80% same scenarios are there, same issues are there. Okay, so that is yes, just here like our job is maintenance, we have seen, as well as we have seen just now SQL Server supports BI features also with IES, RS, EAS. Here SQL Server integration services, SQL Server reporting services, SQL Server analysis services. These are called as BI features, business intelligence features of SQL Server. That's very important, like very important point. SQL Server has total. We have in SQL Server we have totally four major components. We can say four servers. We can say are four major components. Four major components. So one is here like a database engine or database server, and these three are the remaining servers here. Okay, that's remember SQL Server is a collection of four servers. One is database engine or database server, and these are the other three servers: IES, RS, AS. Okay, right. So that is what is SQL Server, what we can do with SQL Server. So in general, say like as a SQL Server developer or DBA, generally will connect and work with SQL Server by using one tool called SSMS here, SQL Server Management Studio. SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. So by using SQL Server Management Studio, here we can connect to any server. Server may be there in the same machine, our local machine, or server may be there in somewhere remotely. So like this here, like we can connect, we can start working. Okay, so that is this is our tool we are using, default tool SQL Server Management Studio, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Through this tool we can connect and work with the SQL Server. Okay, right. So that is how we can work with SQL Server. So after connecting, uh, actually, sir, while connecting to SQL Server, it is asking, sir, server type. Check here to which server you want to connect. database engine or database server, analysis services, reporting, integration services. Already we have discussed SQL Server is a collection of four servers, right? So that's why say like a database engine is the one where we are working as a core DBA. As a core DBA here, we are working with database engine regularly 90%. Right. So that's why we have to understand here SQL Server is a collection of four servers. And here, like graphically, we can perform most of the activities here in SQL Server. If we want to create a new database, if we want to work with logins, directly by right clicking, we can perform the tasks. As well as here, like we can perform the task by using the command also. Here, we can right click on the server, we can take new query. Here see we can run the commands. By taking new query, we can run the commands. Okay, so check here like select at the rate version. Let's say I want to see right now I'm working with which version of SQL Server. Always remember after typing the command, select the command and execute. So now it is showing here like Microsoft SQL Server 2019 version. Actually, here this is 15.0, means it is 2019 version. Our latest version is the 2019 version. Previously, we have 2017, 2016, 2014, 2012. Like this, here various versions are there. Our latest version is 2019. Right. And one important point we have to understand, our SQL Server works in any platform. So Windows as well as Linux platforms here. From 2017 onwards, SQL Server works in any platform. Now remember our SQL Server is now platform independent. Previously, it was licensed only for Windows. Okay, but from 2017 onwards we can work with it works with any platform. Okay, right. So that's like how we are working. Always we have to type the command, select and execute. So like just say like simple commands we have to understand, we have to remember simple commands. If lengthy commands are there, we can maintain those lengthy commands in a file. We can use that file, just copy paste and we can run the commands. So I will provide you regularly use scripts. I will provide you. Check here, it is showing select at the rate server name. It is saying this is the server name. Here see SQL Talk is my system name, slash test 2019 is the server name or instance name. This is machine name slash instance name. Means instance is nothing but remember one SQL server. Means in one machine, in one laptop, we can install remember SQL Server more than one time. Whenever we are installing SQL Server one time, we are calling it as one instance. One instance. Okay, so we'll see that again in detail. Like this, say like how we are connecting and working. Check here in the left side, we have green icon is there. Green icon is there in the left side. Now, here see what it's meaning. SQL Server is running and it's meaning that it is a local instance. Means I have installed this test 2019 in my laptop, local server. We can connect to remote server also here, which may be there somewhere in the network. So here server name, we can use IP address while connecting. Once we connect, we can start working. See here, connect and connected successfully. See here like we can start working. That's why server may be there in the same local machine or somewhere in the network. in US, UK, Australia, anywhere it may be there. You see the difference we can see here. This is my local server. This is my remote server. Question mark is there here. See, so it is not there in my laptop. It is there somewhere in the network. Right. So like this here, we can connect by using SSMS. We can connect to the server which may be there in the same machine, which may be there somewhere in the network. Right. So that is like we have to understand SQL Server is a collection of four servers. Okay. Right. So and see every RDBMS, not only SQL Server, every RDBMS has two parts. One is your non-procedural part is there, which are nothing but SQL commands. Maybe already some people you are familiar with SQL commands, right? Select, update, delete. Okay, SQL commands are there. So as well as every RDBMS has its own programming language, which is called procedural language. Here we have TSQL, here Transact Structured Query Language. Maybe if you are familiar with Oracle, we have PLSQL is there in Oracle, right? PLSQL. So here we have TSQL, Transact Structured Query Language, TSQL. Okay, so that is like we have different yeah, two parts are there. Every RDBMS has two parts. Why? Because in today's database, remember, every database has data plus programs. Okay, 90% data is there in every database. 10 to 15% in general programs are also there in general. Okay, so that's why remember that's why to work with the programs, SQL Server supports which language? T-SQL, Transact Structured Query Language. Whereas to work with the data, we have these SQL commands. Right. So that is just what is what. And a very important point is there in today's class. SQL Server supports here two types of working environments. Two types of working environments. One is your standalone environment. Second one is cluster environment. Standalone means remember where we have this is for small scale applications where we'll maintain single production server we are maintaining. We can maintain one or more standby servers, but all the queries are processed by a single production server. All the queries are processed by single production server. Okay, so that's to say which is for small scale applications, standalone environment. But today's here for example, HSBC is using SQL Server, Bank of America is using SQL Server, Citibank, Canara Bank. Okay, so all these clients are using today's SQL Server, for example. These are say large scale applications. These are say very large scale applications where thousands of users are working, right? So in that case, remember, we can't maintain single production server. We have to maintain a group of servers. We have to maintain a group of servers. Okay, so that group of servers is called cluster. Just remember, in case of SQL Server, we have two types of working environments are there. One is standalone environment, which is for small scale applications where we are maintaining single production server. Second one is your cluster environment. This is for medium and large scale applications. Cluster environment. So here see we are maintaining a group of servers. Just for basic understanding, cluster is like our customer care department where 10 people are sitting, 15 people, 20 people are sitting, for example. Okay, so means like whenever some call is there, these people can uh, what they can do, they can share the call, means like someone will process our call. Okay, so means what? Sometimes we'll process one query, someone another person will process the query. This was here like multiple users can process. Means multiple users are sitting in the background. That's why queries are processed parallelly. Right. Same thing. Remember, cluster means a group of servers. Means in standalone environment, we have seen that single production server is it. All the applications are all are connected to same server. Means same server is processing the queries. Same server. Whereas in case of cluster environment, we are maintaining here a group of servers. We are maintaining a group of servers. Minimum two are required. We can have multiple servers here. Group of servers. And this group of servers are connected to each other. They are connected to each other. So as well as they are working, they are working with a common name called virtual name. Virtual name. Applications are connected here through virtual name or virtual server. That virtual server will redirect request to respective servers in the background. So like this, like just remember, cluster is a group of servers we have to understand, which are connected to each other, which are working as a single server in the environment. Why? Because see, today we have seen phone pay is there, Paytm is there. Thousands of users are working parallelly, right? We can't maintain single production server. That's why compulsory we need a group of servers. That group of servers is called cluster environment. Right. So we can identify right now we are working with standalone environment or cluster environment. We can check very easily here. After connecting through SSMS, just right click on server name properties is clustered. Check here, one property is there, is clustered. It is showing false. Means what? It is a standalone environment. It is not cluster environment, standalone environment. Okay, is clustered false. So in the same way, we can have like we can check by using the simple command also here. Select server property is clustered. So check here. So after typing the command, select the command and execute. See here, false it is saying 0 means it is standalone environment. It is not cluster environment. It is a standalone environment. Right. So like this, like we can identify whether right now we are working with standalone environment or cluster environment. So I will show you clustering also practically. So how to create the cluster, how to configure the cluster. Just remember all the concepts which are there as part of our content. All the concepts we'll see practically. Okay, so tomorrow I will never say we don't have license, we don't have environment. So everything is ready with us. I will show you every concept practically. Okay, no need to worry. So we have our servers are there, as well as uh, uh, my machine is also here. It is a workstation actually. My laptop is workstation, which is Lenovo ThinkPad P51 workstation with here 64 GB RAM. So not like 2 GB, 4 GB, 8 GB. As well as it is Intel HQ processor, means high-end processor. Generally in our normal laptops we have U processor. This is here HQ processor. Means indirectly what I am saying, I'm not making publicity of my machine. So indirectly I'm saying all the features I will show you practically. Even already have set up here cluster also in this machine through VMware. Okay, by using VMware, I have set up cluster also with by creating domain controllers node 1, node 2. Generally, here the machines which are there in the cluster, we are calling them as nodes technically. Okay, so that's why I will show you every concept practically. Right. That is like two types of working environments are there, standalone and clustered environments. In the middle, if any queries are there, please type the in the chat panel. Chat option is there with you. If any simple doubts are there, please type in the chat panel. Maybe from our next class onwards, we'll make more interactive. Means you can unmute yourself also. You can talk to me if any simple doubts are there. Why? Because interactive session is better always. Right. So that is the two types of working environments are there in SQL Server. Then, so how the transaction flow is happening? So generally, whenever as a normal user, if I open some website or app, whenever we make transaction, first remember request is submitted to web server. First request is submitted to web server or application server. Okay, so from here request is coming to our SQL server. See, this is our production server, okay, where the applications are connected now. And this production server works with the data present in the database. Generally, we know every RDBMS uses SQL commands to work with the data, right? Select, update, delete, insert. Okay, SQL command. Same thing, SQL Server also supports SQL commands to work with the data. That's why remember we have to understand here. Uh, we are saying in shortcut SQL DBA, but actually it is SQL Server DBA, or we can say MS SQL DBA. MS SQL DBA. Right. So that's remember SQL Server and SQL both are different. Right. SQL Server is a RDBMS product, whereas SQL is a common database language supported by every RDBMS. Supported by every RDBMS. Right. So check here. This is my production server. This is my production database where the users are working right now. But remember tomorrow, if the server is down or database is down, for example, okay, unexpectedly, then immediately this application is down. Means website will not work, right? Application is down. So that is the reason to overcome these problems. Means whenever we are saying that application is down or website is down, immediately we have to understand business loss is there to our client. Okay, so business loss is there, okay, to our client, right? So then to avoid this business loss scenario, so to avoid this business loss scenario, then what will happen? What we can do, we have to maintain compulsory here standby servers we have to maintain, or secondary servers we have to maintain. Okay, so means whatever the changes are made in this production database copy, same changes parallelly are maintained here in secondary server database. Same changes automatically. Okay, so means what, like tomorrow if this production server down, database down, or network related issue is there, for example, then immediately applications are redirected to standby server or secondary server. Okay, so that business will continue, to minimize the business loss scenario. To avoid the business loss scenario, compulsory we have to maintain the standby servers. Okay, so that is like a yeah, purpose of say standby servers. Okay, so that's why compulsory we need to maintain the standby servers compulsory. That is like and see this same copy of database we can maintain in another server by using some high availability features. See here, SQL Server supports some high availability features. By using these features, we can maintain same copy of database we can maintain as it is copy. As it is copy of database we can maintain in secondary server. Okay, so SQL Server SQL Server supports here like three major features: log shipping, database mirroring, always on. See here, always on means what is on, database is on means online in any server, it may be primary servers or secondary servers, the database is on. Okay, so that's like these are called say like high availability features of SQL Server, which maintain same copy of database in different location. Okay, so that to minimize the downtime, to avoid business loss scenarios, compulsory we have to maintain the secondary servers. Just one point, we'll see what are the major differences are there between these high availability features, but in the respective concepts I will discuss in detail. Right, and so like total setup is there here: primary servers, secondary servers, monitor servers, backup servers. All these total setup is there here in data center, which is there somewhere in the network data center. But say like generally remember, this setup will maintain mostly at client location. Client location. Suppose let's say tomorrow you are maintaining one client, HSBC, means in the in for example, maintaining Citibank Malaysia, for example. So through Wipro, in Wipro remember there are no servers. This data center is not there in Wipro, but the data center is there at client location in uh, Malaysia, for example. Okay, so that's also like that's why we have to understand here, like this data center is there not there in our location; it is there at client location. For example, I am sitting here as a DBA. My colleague is there. We are sitting here in Hyderabad office or Chennai office. We are supporting this client. So we are supporting this client. So means if anything happen, we can monitor and we can troubleshoot the problems. We can monitor and troubleshoot the problems. That's like in case of cluster, in case of here how we are working. Servers are there somewhere at client location. We are sitting from here, we are monitoring from here. That's why remember in general anything happen in server already we have seen 80% tasks we are scheduling. All these are here log shipping, mirroring. We'll set up one time, they are going on automatically. But for example, yesterday night log shipping failed. Then how we know immediately? That is the reason we'll get the tickets. We'll get tickets. Tickets are nothing but remember email notifications. Just okay. So here see like in SQL Server we have one concept called DB mail, database mail. Through database mail, we'll get automatically email notifications. If I configure database mail, whenever something happen, backup fail, log shipping is not working, mirroring is not working, automatically will get email notifications. Okay, so that's what say we'll get the tickets here from our SQL Server setup. We'll get the tickets from application team also. Will get the tickets. Means suppose if the performance is slow, application performance is slow, users are unable to connect, okay, with the server, or some uh, login failure scenarios are there. So those things they will raise the tickets here to our team, as well as client also can raise the tickets to our team. Generally client will raise the ticket to friend desk team. uh, that friend desk team will prepare the ticket, they will submit to our team. Like this, different options are there, say from different locations where we are getting the email notifications, those are called tickets. And generally say like whenever a team is there, we are using some ticketing tools. We are using here Remedy, HP, a service desk tool, Unicenter, various ticketing tools are there. But today, most of the clients are using ServiceNow. One ticketing tool is a ServiceNow. Okay, maybe if you are working, you know already. So ServiceNow, just remember why, because whenever a team is there, 10 members DBS team is there, how we know who is handling which ticket, right? So that's why remember like compulsory ticketing tools are required for us. Compulsory ticketing tools are required. Through ticketing tools we can check how many pending tickets are there, who is working with which ticket, everything we can see here, right? So that is different locations how we are getting the email notifications. Actually say like I have my uh, blog is a azure-sql.blogspot.com. Most of the scripts which we'll use regularly, so I have written those scripts. I will share you apart from this other scripts also while working. Generally we can use regularly some scripts, as well as uh, I will write articles for various websites, like configuring database mail. Very long back, I have written 6 7 years back. So configuring database mail in SQL Server step by step. Okay, already we know through this database mail feature, what is the benefit is there? We'll get automatically email notifications if something happen in our setup, right? So this was here in the summary we have to understand. Last point we'll see, we'll conclude the session. So at the last, if any queries are there, we'll discuss the queries. As a DBA, we have seen already monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job. We have seen means server and database maintenance is our job. That's why, as part of that activity, our major responsibilities are there. There should be no downtime. No downtime. Always our server should be up and running. Databases should be up and running. That's why to minimize the downtime, we have seen, we can use these features, high availability features we can use to minimize the downtime, right? So like log shipping, mirroring, always on, some other features are there, replication, clustering also we'll see again. Then the same way, no security related issues. Okay, no data loss. To avoid data loss, what we'll do, we'll schedule backups regularly. So even something happen, we can get the data from these backups. Okay, we can avoid data loss scenarios. In the same way, no performance issues, no connectivity issues, installing and configuring SQL Server. Generally say like installing and configuring is not our regular job, right? So once we install in by default say like once we enter in the organization, already everything is present, already SQL Server is installed, already it is configured. Okay, so no need to perform means what I'm saying, it is not our regular activity. Installing and configuring is not a regular activity, right? So in the same way, like patching SQL Server. See, patching SQL Server. Patches are nothing but updates. Generally we have seen like patches like updates are there in Android, iOS. We have updates are there, right? So that is like here we have patching SQL Server. We'll see all these practically. Monitoring error logs, very very important. Suppose here after connecting to SQL Server, we can go to management. Under management we have SQL Server logs are there. So here we can checks here by opening this current log. We can see any errors are there. Here SQL Server will write very clear message into these error logs. Okay, very clear message. We can start after checking the error log. We can troubleshoot the problems. Okay, that's why remember tomorrow anything happen in SQL Server. First step is what? Checking the error logs. Right. Next one, sir, all the scheduled activities are working or not, we have to monitor. We have seen like 80% tasks are scheduled, right? So that's why all these scheduled activities are working or not, we have to monitor, right? So that is various regular activities are there here as part of SQL Server administration. Regular activity. So that's why we have to understand here like indirectly we have to understand. So uh, indirectly we have to understand, we have to monitor, and we need to troubleshoot the problems. Our regular job is what? Monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job, right? So that is like various versions are there. We'll see later. Let's see what I will do. I will conclude the session here. We'll continue again tomorrow. So as part of today's session, we have to understand four major points we have to understand as part of today's session. First important point is that SQL Server is a RDBMS product which supports SQL and TSQL. First point. First point. Okay. Second point is there, as a SQL Server DBA, our job is database and server maintenance is our job. That's why as part of database and server maintenance, we have to uh, we have to monitor the servers. We have to troubleshoot the problems. Right. Monitoring and troubleshooting is our problem, our job. Troubleshooting the problems is our job, right? The same way, third point, remember, to start working with SQL Server, we are using one tool called SQL Server Management Studio. Through this tool we can connect to the server. It may be there in the local machine or it may be there remotely somewhere. We can connect and work with SQL Server by using what? SSMS. And last point, check here. SQL Server supports two types of working environments: standalone environment and cluster environment. We have seen by running simple command, we can check whether it is standalone or cluster environment. And final points here, like SQL Server supports some high availability features: log shipping, database mirroring, always on. By using these features, remember, we can maintain same copy of database we can maintain in different server. even like production server is down unexpectedly, so we can make the applications or users to continue their work with the secondary servers. And so like today our latest concept is there always on, we are preferring always on, always on. So where if tomorrow primary server down, immediately secondary becomes primary. In mirroring and always on, remember, automatic failure is there. Means tomorrow if primary goes down, immediately secondary becomes primary. Whereas log shipping, we have seen no another concept, that is old concept. In case of log shipping, if primary server is down, secondary will not come online. Manually, we have to bring online as a DBA. We'll see again in tomorrow's class. Means in the next session, we'll see briefly what are the major differences are there between log shipping, mirroring, always on. After that, we'll start our regular class. Just today, we have seen what is what we have discussed actually. That's why, as part of our class, we'll see all the concepts. We'll start with the beginning, basics of SQL Server. We'll see installations, configurations, we'll see server architecture, database architecture, we'll see how to schedule backups, we'll see how we'll work with the high availability features like log shipping, mirroring, always on, clustering, replication, as well as we'll work with performance tuning, we'll work with automation, we'll work with troubleshooting. So that's why we have seen troubleshooting is very, very important point, important concept, which is compulsory we have to go with. So as I'm recording the sessions, even some confusion is there at the beginning. You can go through the recording. You can note down. You have to note down if any doubts are there. Okay, so after that, in the next class, we have to ask the doubts. So once after clearing the doubts, I will start the class. Okay, so that is like we will make it more interactive. If any simple doubt is there, we have to type in the chat panel, or you can unmute yourself. You can discuss. You can talk to me. Right. So right then, we'll continue again. Timings, it is okay for all people. This time 10:30 p.m. IST. Uh, we'll see that maybe our people will call you if anything is there. You can talk to them again. Right.